And inspiration is 1440 AM WMKM.
Good morning. This is Cynthia A. Johnson with Stand Up Now. Thank you for tuning in to this show. I hope you find this half hour enjoyable and inspiring as we showcase regular people from the city of Detroit who are doing great things and really making a difference in our city, the city of Detroit. Good morning, family. How are you? You're listening to Stand Up Now with Cynthia A. Johnson, and you're listening to us on the great Gospel 1440 WMKM Reborn. I say that because I truly mean that WMKM is a great business and great people, and I truly don't say that lightly. We are going to have an open talk this morning. Our phone number here is 313-871-6094 or 313-871-6095. When you do call in, please give your first or last name if you choose, and then tell us what you want to talk about. Again, our phone numbers are 313-871-6094 or 6095. And good morning to my engineer, Mike. He always does a great job. He's waving back at me. There's so many things that we need to discuss, so many issues that are going on in our community. One of the things that I want to discuss this morning has to do with the recall of Rick Snyder. Unfortunately, I have some good news and some not so good news in regards to the recall of Rick Snyder. We'll be back in 1 minute. We all know that sometimes life happens, things that we least expect. And that's why Sparkle Builders Emergency Restoration is here to help. What is Sparkle Builders? I'm glad you asked.
You got 3 parts to your claim. Monies for repairs, that's to the dwelling. You got monies for contents, which is your personal items. You got monies for ALE, which is additional living expenses for you to stay outside your home. So we make sure you get everything from your insurance company without being lowballed.
With over 40 years of experience, Sparkle Builders is a licensed emergency board-up and temporary repair specialist. Call Sparkle Builders, 313-271-7000. So if you have a house fire, lightning strike, tree fall, basement flood, or anything with an insurance adjustment, call Dwayne Garner, 24 hours a day, 313-912-2321.
When you have a disaster, you have a loss, whether it's storm damage, lightning, fire, contact your insurance company, report your claim. Then at the same time, contact Sparkle Builders. You want someone standing there with you as your advocate to keep the adjuster's estimate honest. That's what we do as a company.
An insurance company, they're not there to save you money. They're there to make money. And instead of being lowballed, you want to contact Sparkle Builders, who can act as sort of kind of your in-between person. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Hi.
This is Brenda J.
Hey, Brenda J. How are you?
Fine, and you, ma'am? Just checking in, and I didn't know what the topic was.
Okay, so today, like I said, it's going to be open forum. Anything that you want to talk about, we will talk about. But first, I wanted to talk briefly about this recall of Rick Snyder. I just wonder how many people have heard that there was a recall, that we're going to have a recall, that there was a petition that was given to the canvassers in Michigan, Board of Canvassers in the state of Michigan, and they approved the language, and that's a good thing. However, there are some things that many people, I bet many people don't know. See, a recall, once they approve that language, then you have 180 days. Within those 180 days to act on that recall. But then you only have 60 days from the day you collect one signature. From that day, you only have 60 days. So if you make some kind of mistake and within those 180 days and on day, let's say a day 150, here's the thing. We need over 780,000 signatures. Might as well say 800,000 signatures that we need. I was doing some research, Brenda and family.
Right.
Did you happen to read my post on Facebook?
Yes, I did, and I shared it because I have a great concern as well. I haven't heard anything since you had Reverend Bullock on your show and when they met over at Greater New Mount Moriah. It's like everything has become quiet.
Yeah.
I'm concerned, and I'm really concerned because now is the time. I don't know if you had a chance to catch Steve Harvey's show, when the whole hour yesterday, and you can go on YouTube and see different segments of the show when he dedicated the whole hour to the Flint water crisis.
Okay.
And he had residents from Flint in the audience, and one of the things that touched me and, put it in my head. It was already in my head. This man either needs to be man enough to step down or he needs to be recalled. A lady who works at Buick lived in Flint. She stood up, and this was not a black woman because Charlie LaDuff was on the show, and he pointed out who all it has affected, not just blacks. It's affected blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Arabs, anyone that's
anyone who drinks water.
Yes, drinking water. One young lady said they're still taking showers and baths in that contaminated water because they have no choice. But this lady, a Caucasian lady, stood up. In her hand, she had her hair that had fallen out because of that water.
I live in Flint. I was raised and born in Flint. I worked at the Buick. I love Flint. This is my hair. This is my water. My washers ate up. I have diverticulitis now. I'm going to Mount Morris to take my showers because I can't lose no more hair. I can't use my humidifier. I used a humidifier for 2 winters. I breathed in that water, and now I've got nodes in the bottoms of my lungs, and there's no fix for that. My lungs. What are you going to do for my lungs? What are you going to do for me, Mr. Snyder? I want him in Flint. I want him here. I want him put in a house because you can take your pick. There's lots of empty ones.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All I want to know is there's a law, a Michigan law, that if they don't pay their water bill, in 3 years, your property can be confiscated. Right. I meant to say that. Now, people of Flint are paying a single person $600 water bill, and if she don't pay it in 3 years, they're going to take her house. You're the state senator, and there's not a bill or a synopsis in this to get this law changed?
I'm working on that. I mean, I'm working with the county.
Well, we're talking about race and all that, right? This isn't a racial war in America. It's class warfare.
That's right.
I see in this audience, I see black, I see white, I see Latino, I see Arabic. I see the great middle of America that once was.
That's right.
Flint made America rich.
That's right.
Wall Street got bailed out. General Motors got bailed out. No one, you're not even asking for a bailout, you're just asking for help.
Listen to me. And this is not an easy statement. They letting y'all die.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I'm about to say.
That's right.
Because they letting y'all die because they gonna let the city die.
That's right.
And y'all are the city. See, we gotta start thinking about getting out. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. They ain't fixing these pipes for years. We got to really start thinking about getting your kids up out of here. Now, is that easy to do? No, it's not. See, you're talking to somebody been at all the economic levels. I lived in a car for 3 years, so hold tight. It ain't like I'm just some rich boy that get up and move. I ain't saying that to you.
Right.
I'm saying this here. Got to start preparing. making preparations, and we got to try to generate some type of fund for the city of Flint that can come in a lump sum, get dispersed, and y'all can make a move. Y'all got to start looking at this thing another way. Save your children.
Thank you, Steve.
Your
Thank
children.
You. Thank you.
Hey, folks, welcome. Thanks for checking out my YouTube. Where's Chia? Okay, what would you like to say?
Well, I had my daughter tested for lead, and thank God she came back without positive lead tests. But we're still bathing in this water, and no results have been consistent. We can't believe anything that our state leaders say. Everything is inconsistent. So what I really want to know is this water safe? My child is still bathing in it, and thousands of other children within our city.
No. Bathing in the water, you know, your skin is porous. Just like you can perspire, things come out, things go in. So bathing in the water is not safe. Even though your levels came back okay, I don't want you to have false sense of, okay, I'm fine. You're still being exposed if you're drinking, if you're bathing, if you're brushing your teeth, etc. Only thing that water is good for is flushing a toilet. And maybe not that.
You've got to understand, you cannot be bathing in this water. Lead is the primary concern, but there are all kinds of other metals, scale. The scale is allowing for biofilm to grow. How many of you have been provided instructions on how to flush your hot water heater? No one, okay? Your hot water at home is now a bioreactor. All that sludge that's been accumulating in your drinking water system for the last 18 months, 24 months, it's sitting in your hot water heater. And then you're going to put your kids in a hot shower. Legionella is exposed through inhalation.
That's right.
A hot, steamy shower, you're just asking for trouble.
We have a huge problem, but we should at least, we can fix this one thing now.
Right.
There should be some information passed out to these people so they know. Why? There's got to be.
Well, too, Steve, one of the things important is the first thing we were told was E. coli. E. coli, you're supposed to boil the water.
Right.
So when we were told to boil the water with E. coli, so people did that, and then to find out that, you know, to protect yourself, that causes more problems. So it's, I mean, this has been a disaster from the beginning, and it's still, as you pointed out, and other folks have pointed out, it's still not over. I mean, there's not even an end in sight.
Yeah, that, technically, there ain't a damn thing being done. Ain't nobody dug up. Look, man, ain't nobody dug up a pipe. Not a single pipe.
They got no schematic of the pipes. You know, like the blueprint?
Yeah.
They don't exist. So they got to, right now they're trying to draw a map of where the pipes are that they don't know where they are at.
And meantime, people are suffering.
Well, you know that Rick Snyder is going before Congress on this coming Thursday, the 17th. And I truly wish I could be in Washington on that.
I wish we all could be there.
Yeah.
My concern is with what happened in Flint, why do you need an invitation? Why weren't you subpoenaed? There should not be an invitation. You should not have the choice whether you're going to testify or not. Now, I was seeing on the news, they want to know if they're going to, you know, do the Ollie North and plead the fifth.
Well,
that shouldn't be accepted.
Well, it's a part of the Constitution, but at the same time, if you plead the fifth on some questions like that, then to me, it tells me that you're guilty. But going back to these folks, including Governor Dictator Rick Snyder, being invited is only a nice term. They have to be there. They're supposed to be there. But let's go briefly back on the recall, because I want to, even though there are some people who I'm sure who don't Facebook, but if you don't, I ask you to please go on Facebook. You don't have to be friends with everybody. As a matter of fact, you can have only your family in your group and then certain people. And if you do go on Facebook and if you have certain people, I ask that you request my friend me, Cynthia A. Johnson, or go to Stand Up Now with Cynthia A. Johnson or Stand Up Now. Here is a post that I wrote yesterday, and I just want to share it with people so that I don't miss something. So here it goes. I said, I have been doing some research, and so this is what I must share with you. Now, I said I must share it with you because too often when people are running for office, they say all the nice things and all the things that they think people want to hear. Too many politicians or candidates don't share the real. And so with this, I'm sure I might be stepping on some toes, but that's okay. So anyway, I go on to say, of the filing of a recall petition, the designated filing official will issue a receipt showing the date of filing, the number of petition sheets filed, and the number of signatures claimed. And that's according to MCL 168.961. Again, that's MCL 168.961. Rick Snyder must be provided at least 8 days to go over the signatures and can challenge the signatures on or before 30th day after filing of the petition, as according to MCL 168.961A. We lost her. I'm sure she'll call back. In the case of the governor's office, Snyder's first and last year in office cannot be up for a recall. So we are within the time frame that we can recall Snyder. If the petitions are sufficient, in other words, if the signatures that are on the petitions are sufficient, a designated official issues a call for a special election on the next, listen to this, folks, on the next May or August election, at least 95 days after filing of the recall petitions, according to MCL 168.963 as amended by 2015 PA 99 effective September 28th, 2015. Now, who do you think? Now, anytime that we have laws, your governor has to sign off on these bills. Why do you think that we all of a sudden have a law that would say that the special election of a recall can only happen in May or August, in the May or August election? So we don't have an upcoming May election because it wouldn't even count anyway, because first of all, we will not even begin or supposedly begin, according to Reverend Bullock, we would not begin the recall until March 27th. Please keep up with me, y'all, because this is very, very, very important. Get your pens and paper and write this stuff down because this is so important. So let's just say we start collecting petitions on March 27th, which is Easter Sunday. We only have 60 days from March 27th to collect petitions. Then those petitions are turned in to the designated official. And then if all of the petitions, if the signatures are certified, if we got all 800,000 of them and they're good signatures, the designated official then has at least 95 days after we file the recall petitions. Now, you have to remember that there are absentee voters, and the absentee voters will get their ballots, the same ballots that we're going to get in August for the primary election. They're going to get their ballots in June, which means that by the time we collect all the signatures, if we collected all the signatures in 1 day or 10 days, it wouldn't be a problem. But here's the problem. Let's say, for instance, we collect everything that we need to collect. And this is crazy. I can't see it happening, but let's just say a miracle happens and all over the state, everybody's got a petition and they start collecting signatures and we get all 800,000 of them. So March, April. Let's say on May 1st, we have all the signatures that we need. So now from the day that we turned in the signatures, we then have, there's going to be at least 95 days after the filing. So let's say May, June, July. It stops right there. You know why it stops right there? Because remember, there's going to be ballots that absentee voters will get in June. Reverend Bullock, I see that you're trying to contact me. Please give us a call at 313-871-6094 so that if there's anything that I'm saying, you correct me. I'm writing the phone number down for him right now. So what does that mean? It means that even if we get all of the 800,000 signatures for the recall question, it will not likely be on the August 2nd, 2016 ballot. Well, I can go on to say that it will not be on the August 2nd, 2016 ballot, only because we cannot eliminate absentee voters. Whatever we get on the August 2nd official ballot, the primary, will also be on the, so it's not possible for the recall question to be placed on the ballot. Here's my thing. I'm just hoping, I pray to God that on this coming Thursday, when Rick Snyder goes in before Congress, that they have some officials that can handcuff him right then and there. And then we won't even have to go through this recall thing. All right, so anyway, I go on to say in this piece, the soonest that the question will be on the ballot will be on May 2nd, 2017. So we still can do it. I don't want to discourage anyone. Here's the thing that I want, though, or that I'm requesting, and that people are requesting. They're requesting answers. I even went on the Stop Snyder official page, and I asked these two questions. And I don't think that it's unfair. People want to know, how many volunteers do we have to circulate petitions as of today's date? That was yesterday. And the number 2 question is, assuming all the required signatures will be certified, please let us know when will the recall question be placed on the ballot. And I said, thank you. I don't think that that's too asking for too much. You know why I put that question, although I already know the answer? I put the question out there so that David Bullock can honestly share the information with the people. We have a right to know. We need to know how many how many people have registered to be petitioners. And we also need to know, and we need to know this because it is just right. It's only right and fair. You're collecting monies from people. We don't know those very important 2 questions, especially that last one. Assuming all the required signatures will be certified, please let us know when will the recall question be placed on the ballot. I've said it, but we need this said by David Bullock. He needs to come straight with the people. I think that David's heart may be in the right place. I'm not God, so I can't tell you if his heart is right or not, but I'm hoping that his heart is right on this. But when you're not totally transparent, it looks of suspect. And we don't need not one other person in our community to be less than totally transparent, if not to the world, to us. You know, you're on this huge stage. I have backed David. This is not the first time that I've backed David. I backed David before. But anyway, that was then, and we've moved past that. But this is something that is really, really, really crucial. So I just want to know what you all think. Our phone number here, 313-871-6094 or 313-871-6095. And we have less than 5 minutes, 6 minutes, I think. I go on to say in this piece, this is a downer for me. Because when I found this out yesterday, when I did my research, I'm a researcher, for real I am. This is a downer for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people. At the same time, I'm not telling you all not to go forward. What I'm saying to David Bullock is that you have to be transparent about this. And when people ask questions about because a lot of people don't even know that the recall question has to go on a ballot. They don't know that. They just think that if they get so many signatures, then automatically the governor is going to be recalled. That's not the way it works. So that's why this is very important for people to know. And I go on to say this is a downer for me and I'm sure a lot of other people. Although we have a general election coming up in November 2016, your governor signed into law in September 2015 to change a lot of things regarding the recalls. For instance, instead of 90 days to be able to get signatures, he reduced it or signed into law to reduce it to 60 days. Why do you think that happened? Then he signed into law to make the months of May and August the only months that we can pose the question on the ballot. Why do you think he did that? He did that because he knew that we had 2 elections coming up, one in August and one in November. He knew, just like the Board of Canvassers in Michigan knew, that there is no way that this recall question could go on the ballot in August. They knew it. And perhaps that's even why they even allowed or accepted the petition that was forwarded by the petitioner. There were other petitions that were requested back in September of 2015. Those could have been accepted, but they didn't accept those because they knew that the recall could go forward and we would get the signatures. Boy, this guy is real slick. They call him Slick Rick. In September, think about this, September 2015, changing the amount of days from 90 days to 60 days to collect over 800,000 signatures. Slick Rick. And I also go on to say, family, I'm just sharing this information with you to let you know just what is happening. Even with all the petitions or with all the signatures that we get, I just want you to know that the recall or the question won't even be on the ballot until May 2nd, 2017. And I will go on to say that, and I'm going to mention a name. Adajar Parr was not too off with his warnings. Those of us who are on Facebook, you know what I mean by that. And I'm sorry I had to be the bearer of this type of news, but like I said, there's good news and then we have some not so good news. But I'll tell you people, the truth, what do they say about the truth? The truth will set you free. And all we want is the truth. And we want people to be transparent and honest with us. We've got too many things going on in our community. And like Wayne County Clerk Kathy M. Garrett said last week when she was on the show, we just have too many things that we have to do in our community. Y'all, I mean, like me or not, I'm going to be as transparent and as open and honest to you as I can. And I know that I step on some toes. I don't mean to, but if you come on my show and you're not trustworthy, or if I find out that you're straight up not being honest with people, you know me, I will call you out. Can't help it. That's just a part of who I am. And so, do we have another caller? We have another caller. Good morning, caller. Your name, please.
W.H. Griffin.
Hey, Mr. Griffin. We have less than a minute.
The question I need to ask, can the people challenge a question in regards of what this governor is doing and appeal to the Supreme Court?
I don't know the question to that, but I'll tell you this, Mr. Griffin, that those in the House legislature, they could have started an impeachment, and not one person in that legislature, not one of our Detroit legislators even posed the question or even made they didn't even start an impeachment. And I'm very disappointed about that. It's time for us to go. I hate to say goodbye, but I'll talk to you later. God bless you all. I love y'all. You know it. This is Stand Up Now with Cynthia A. Johnson. God bless.
There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up.